All right, welcome everyone to my video after 3 years. I am doing all right. I am alive, thankfully. And basically, what I want to try to do here is I want to start a new series in which I basically go through Leetcode problems with you guys. So, I find myself on this website every now and then, when I'm thinking about like switching jobs or whatever, right? And you got to practice. So this cursed website is what we go to help us. And for me, I've always found the most success following the blind 75 leak code list. So these are basically like the list of 75 problems that cover most data structures, graphs, DP, matrix, etc., string, tree, whatever. And I basically just expand on this one. So I have around like 80 or 90 questions. So I use like most of these and then I add in like some of my own. I don't do the binary ones. I find that it's not really helpful and you rarely get asked binary. So it's mostly like the 75 minus like the 5. So it's 70 and then like 20 of my own problems that I found on the website. So we'll basically be going through that like in this series here. And yeah, I hope that it helps you as much as it helps me. And I come back to these problems every now and then, so instead of me just looking at my solution and remembering what the hell I was thinking about, it's good to have it in video format, so I can refer back to it. And yeah, it's just easier that way, right? So this one will honestly be like my thinking process. So obviously, like this two-sum problem, I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, but it is something that like the way I would think about it. So this video is going to be like a little bit longer than I'm hoping, simply because like I'm going to be going through my thought process. So like that's why it's long. But bear with me. It's just the first video, right? So the next one should be fine. But yeah, let's just go ahead and start off with the two-sum problem. And again, I'm sure everyone's already done it, but um, you know, let's just start it off. So basically in this problem, you're given an array of numbers and a target integer, and you want to return the indices of two numbers so that they add up to a target. And you can assume that there's exactly one solution and you cannot use the same element twice. So for example, in this one over here, and by the way, I'm going to be using Python for these. So if you do not use Python, I think you're doing something wrong because Python is the best language for these programming interviews, right? So it's just so simple what you can do in Python. Oh, and one more thing. If your leak code doesn't look like this, it looks like that monstrosity, the new UI. I'm not gonna try this. It's cancer, so don't go on it. You can go to your settings and then you should be like try old version or something like that. So you can go back to this old one. So make sure you do that. If you do not do that, do not watch my video. All right. Anyways, yeah. So let's start this. So we have like these three examples over here, and basically, copy this one. Yeah, so we have like these three examples over here. And so basically like in this first one, right? So you can see that the 2 and 7 form a 9. And so that's why we have like 0, 1. Here you can see like the 2 and 4 form a 6. So you can see like 1 and 2. And here you can see like 3 and 3 also form like 0 and 1. So I want to kind of go through this one. So how would you kind of like do this, right? So if you're really thinking about it, if I ask you like I have this number here and I want to find the target here, like what would you be looking for, right? So if you want to find the target 9 and you're on the number 2, then realistically like you want the 7, right? Like you want the target so that you want a number so that like my existing one I guess plus x is equal to like your target, right? So basically what I'm looking for is something called a complement here. So complement is basically just like it'll be like 9 minus it'll be like target minus like the current item, right? So it'll be 9 minus 7, 9 minus 2, which is 7. So if I can somehow find a 7, then I have what I need. I have exactly what I need. So let's kind of start with that, and then we'll get a better solution in the end. But let's just kind of start with that. So what would I need? So I would need a way to first of all like store where items are in the list, right? I could use like find whatever, but the best way is just to use like a dictionary, like a hash map, right? So I can say like 2 is in position 0, 7 is in 1, 15 is in 3, like that. So I can do something like num to index is equal to a dictionary. And then basically what I want is for index item in enumerate nums. Basically, I'm just going to store this. So item is equal to index. So now I just store like this maps 2 to 0, 7 to 1, 11 to 2, and then 15 to 3. And then basically, I can just repeat this loop. And now all I really need to do is I need to find the complement. So for example, if item is 2, then what I'm looking for is 2 minus, I'm sorry, like target minus 2. So anyways, if you haven't seen the syntax, just you use it quite a bit. It's just mass the index and the item all in like one go. So you don't have to like do like, like nums at I or whatever. But yeah, so here's the complement. So let's say I'm at like 2 right now, right? So I'd be looking for the complement. So I want to basically check if complement is in the num to dictionary, right? If this is the case, then I know that my answer is going to be index and the num to index of the complement, right? So this one would work. Let's see. So you can see that it works for the first case, but it doesn't work for the second case and third case. And the reason is because like if you really look at these ones, right? Like so the 3 over here, it can be used twice, right? So 3 and 3 make 6. Same thing here. 3 and 3 make 6. So if we just check this one here, it's possible that we might end up using the same index again, which is not what we want. So we can add another condition here. We can do and num to index at comp does not equal the current index. So this should basically like solve the issue. And I'll just hit submit because I already know like it works. But you can see like over here, and you can see like why I'm creating these videos, right? Because I go back to them. Um, so this is like one way it could work. Now, it turns out that we don't actually need like 2 loops here. We can basically like do this part and this part all in just one loop. So let me just kind of keep this here, but I'll just create a loop here. So num to index dictionary, and then we'll do something similar in enumerate nums. And then basically we have our complement is target minus item. And now I'm going to check. So I'm going to check if complement is in num to index, right? If this is the case, then I can just return index and then num to index complement. And then in the end, I can basically add in my num to index at item is equal to index. And I want you to notice like 2 things here. First of all, it's just one loop. Secondly, we are not checking the condition where this is the case. Like you don't have to check if the same index happens. The reason for this is because we're adding this at the very end. So the first time you do this, so like something like this, for example, the complement is 3, right? And the item itself is 3. But the complement won't be in the list yet, won't be in the dictionary because we haven't added it yet. So if you were to put this like at the start, then you would need to check the index. But since we put it at the bottom here, we actually don't need to check the index at all. And so this turns out to be like exactly equivalent to this, just one loop. So if I go ahead and run this one here, you can see that this one also just passes correctly. Yeah, like that's how you do this first problem. And you know, this video was like definitely longer than it needed to be. But yeah, basically I'll be going through like the blind 75 problems. This problem here, I guess it's just like O of n space. I'm sorry, O of n time. You're just going through list 1, and technically O of n space as well, because like you're storing the items in the dictionary. But yeah, that's this problem, and hopefully I see you whenever I finish all of the other problems as well. All right, so take care, and I hope you guys all have a great day.